I'm Eric.
And I'm Ash.
And this is The Hash.
With Eric and Ash.
We're live.
We're live?
Now we're live.
I was wondering if you were going to wait until we were live to do that. What are you drinking?
Didn't really mean to do that, but...
What are you drinking?
What am I drinking? A little bit of a Lonnie New. This episode brought to you by Lonnie New. Not really, but hey, it could be.
Yeah.
Play cards right. You play cards right, Lonnie New.
Yeah.
You could be on the top podcast in Sonoma County. Maybe Petaluma.
Yeah. Also, I posted that thing, or I reposted how our love story started, and they didn't even say a single thing.
Ew.
I know.
Do you think I should pour this out? Get myself a Red Bull? A Rebel? No.
I honestly, Alani knew the fact that they have L-theanine in there is just a vibe.
Yeah.
What are
Such
we
a vibe.
talking about today?
How to unfuck your diet.
Yeah. This is a good one. I just feel like nutrition is what most people struggle with. So we're definitely going to be coming out with more episodes just about nutrition.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a toughie.
I think it's what a lot of people struggle with. I also think it's what it's going to get you the most results. It's going to get you the results the fastest, you know. And another way I always talk about with my clients is that like it's like not everyone's necessarily going to work out, but everyone's going to have dinner, right?
Yeah.
And so getting your nutrition right, unfucking your diet.
Yeah. The best thing you can do.
One-way
yourself.
ticket to Party Town.
And it's like the way you're going to feel energized. Unlike myself today, I'm a little tie-tie today. I'm not going to lie.
I'm real tie-tie today. I haven't been sleeping the greatest. We should listen. We
should
listen to
our
our
last
own
podcast.
podcast about sleep. That would probably be super helpful.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. We just went to sleep late, and then I woke up at like 5:20, and I just couldn't go back to sleep. And I got like
Well, that's nothing new.
6 hours and 50 minutes, which is not enough. I need 8.
Not enough.
Which is like, who am I? I never used to be like this.
Yeah.
You changed me.
That I did. I'm liking this new podcast setup. For those of you watching.
We've literally switched
I think
it so
this
many
is the
times.
4th iteration. Before it used to be just the couch, looking at each other with the coffee table, holding everything. Mm-hmm. Then we tried here at the table once like this, but different camera angles. I think we had just one over here.
Yeah,
now we have both
the
our
bad.
cameras.
Yeah.
And then we tried it on the couch with the table. Now we're back to the table.
Yeah.
I think this is it, though. I think this is the one.
Yeah.
So, how to unfuck your diet. Have you ever had a fuck diet? Have you ever had to unfuck your own diet, Ash?
Oh, yeah. I think like the biggest thing for people, too, is they don't even know their diet is fucked. Like, I'll talk to potential clients or whatever. They're like, yeah, I eat pretty healthy. I'm like, do you?
Yeah.
Why are we having this conversation?
I literally made a post a while ago. It was like the biggest lie people tell me is that I eat pretty good. Oh, really? So, but you also want to lose 50 pounds? Like,
yeah, exactly.
Something ain't adding up here.
Yeah. So the first step is definitely awareness, but I think talking about like what an unhealthy diet actually looks
what
like.
what do these people mean when they say they eat pretty good, aka their diet's fucked?
Yeah. The biggest thing is eating junk food, which we're going to have a whole separate podcast episode on, but just eating foods that have weird ass ingredients in them and a lot of processed foods. I think so often things are marketed as healthy, and to the general consumer that doesn't really know a lot about nutrition, they think this says healthy, it must be healthy.
Right.
When in reality, it's just packed
marketing.
It's marketing, and it's just packed with a whole
calories
bunch of shit that isn't going to make you feel good.
Yeah. I mean, what it really comes down to, you're right, you're eating too much of the high calorie, low nutrient stuff. So, you know, like she just said, the processed foods, the chips, the candies, the desserts.
Which make you more hungry. Like, they don't actually satisfy or fill you up. So that's why you think you want to eat so much more, because it's just probably the sugar and like unfulfilling carbs that just makes you want more of that.
Yeah,
so
no nutrients, no protein, right? The stuff the good stuff, the stuff that you need.
You eat a bag of chips and 10 minutes later you're still hungry.
I think something else too that, you know, like just kind of already touched on this, but just no consideration to your diet at all. You just kind of eat. You just kind of go about your day.
Probably eat out a lot.
You're like, oh shit, it's lunchtime. Jimmy John's or burrito.
Even, I feel like some people try to aim for healthier options, but they're just calorie packed. They have weird things and like, oh, I'll get a salad. Oh, well, not that I know you love ranch, but like just like high calorically dense dressings. That's like, oh, you might as well eat a cheeseburger from In-N-Out at that point.
Thank you for making me feel seen in my love for ranch.
Yeah.
No, and I think that's a big thing too. It's like, and like, what is healthy even mean, right? You know, like I think what you just touched on is a good point, because like someone might be trying to do someone might be trying to do the right thing. Have a salad, right?
Yeah.
Because that's what you do. That's what you do if you want to lose weight and you want to be healthy. But that salad could have some dried raisins on there. It could have some nuts. It could have some cheese. It could have
and not to say
some
that these
dairy.
are bad things.
No, but they add up calorically. And if your goal is to lose fat, you need to have your calories in check. And so, you might be better off having the plain burger, you know, in some cases. So I think that it's really just no consideration to it at all. No consideration to what you're eating, when you're eating.
If you have bad eating habits too. There's a lot that can kind of go into it. But the first thing that you can do to really unfuck your diet is be aware that your diet sucks.
Awareness is always the first step.
Yeah. Let's talk about like our own experiences of our bad diets. Do you want to go first?
No. You can go first.
Okay. Well, I have two kind of big moments in my life where my diet was shit, I feel like in high school, I just exercised so much from dance that it didn't really matter. And my mom always made somewhat healthy options for the most part of what, you know, we knew was healthy at that point in time. But I was just talking to someone yesterday, like I would eat Panda Express like twice a week.
You would?
Yeah, when I was dancing, because it was walkable, like before we had cars and we had like an hour, we're like, oh, let's just go walk to Panda Express. But so, you know, again, I was like healthy to an extent then, but I also exercised so much that it really didn't matter.
Yeah.
But then college came around, and what I thought was healthy then was like eating like, well, I gained weight obviously, and then that's when I became aware of my diet, and I was like, okay, the key to losing weight is just, you know, protein, veggies. But then of course I would eat too little during the week, binge on the weekends of all the things, you know, pizza, I'd be drinking a shit ton, like I don't even know, just things that didn't make me feel good. But then another experience I had, which I thought was healthy. Like this is when I lost weight and I was like, oh, this is the epitome of health, was when I went vegan. You know, I wasn't eating a lot of processed foods, but I was eating zero protein, which truly fucked my hormones up. And like, I'm still recovering. Like my body's still healing from the time period that I was vegan and under eating for so long. Like under eating and not eating enough protein. Over exercising. Yeah. But even when I first went vegan, it was so interesting. I lost a ton of weight, which in that moment I loved. I was starving all the time, but my acne got so bad. And I was like, this is so crazy. Like I'm eating only whole foods. Like what is going on? You know? And I think that like now knowing more about hormones, it just threw my hormones completely out of whack because I was eating zero protein.
Yeah.
I was eating carbs, vegetables, mainly just vegetables, to be honest. So I think it's interesting. Like again, even I wasn't fully aware that the vegan diet wasn't healthy. And even back then,
kind of one extreme to the other.
Exactly. Yeah. And so, yeah, it's just interesting to like look back now and be like, wow, I thought I was so healthy, and yeah, I wasn't eating enough calories. So that's why I lost weight, but I still wasn't healthy or like I didn't have a healthy diet back then either.
Yeah.
Even though I thought I did, because I was eating hella vegetables and.
Right. Which it was, I think, probably a step in the right direction, but you know,
a little too far.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel like for me, the first thing that comes to mind was like, I remember being younger, you know, we're talking like elementary school, and I literally, I just didn't really have a, like my fullness cues, my satisfied cues were just not
Not there.
I would fill up my plate and it had to be clean.
Why do you feel like you felt that way?
I don't know.
Like, were your parents kind of like...
No, they were never... No, it wasn't like you got to finish your plate.
See,
it was kind of
mine were
like...
like that a little bit.
I didn't need anyone to tell me to. I just...
Yeah.
It just was happening. Like... Yeah, I would fill it up and go back. You know, maybe I was like, I finished my plate. I was full. Probably would have been good. Go back fill my plate up for seconds. Probably get just as big of a plate. And like just something in my mind was like, gotta finish it. So that's the first thing that...
Was that when you were like younger, when you started to notice your body, or has this been like forever that you felt that way?
Well,
I mean,
that's when I became aware of it.
Yeah.
Like at a younger age.
What'd you say, like 8?
I was like 4th grade, so like 9 or 10.
That's really young.
And then kind of similar to you, like going through high school, playing 3 sports like year round, they all overlapped. Like I kind of went the opposite direction. I was kind of like a string bean there for a hot sec.
String bean, you said that funny.
And could like... I was thinking about this the other day when we were in Tahoe eating those Costco muffins. Like I used to bring so much food to school. Like my mom would pack me 2 sandwiches. I'd bring a muffin. I'd have
What
like
time
fruit.
period?
This is high school.
High school.
Yeah. And I was just like always hungry.
Well, I'm sure.
Yeah. And but yeah, going the
also,
other...
I feel like you were probably growing a lot. Like when you're tall.
Yeah. But the other, I guess, period of like a fucked diet, I just think about college, you know, again, where I was partying quite a bit. And I think like the biggest thing that stands out, or the biggest takeaway, is just like, like you made one bad decision, like, okay, fuck it. Like the whole day is screwed. Like
nothing.
Went out last night, let's get a like brunch or, you know, some greasy breakfast. And then it's like, you know, let's just order pizza for dinner, you know? And then kind of...
But weren't you pretty fit? I know we're not talking about like...
I was,
specific,
I was pretty bugging ripped. So. No, but seriously, yeah, like I was, you know, on the outside, probably looking okay, but like on the inside, probably not ideal. And then even after college, like when I was working and living in Reno, I was still going out quite a bit, and it was like the week was like fantastic, like meal prepped, weighed out, tracked, everything. And then come the weekend, it's like all hell kind of broke loose, which, you know, is what it is. I don't know. I was almost tempted to say like, it's not the end of the world. Like, I feel like that can be a good strategy. I'm kind of backtracking here, but what I mean by that is just like, again, knowing all the variables at play, right? You can kind of calorie bank, right, for the weekend, but there's limits.
We have
I was going a
different
bit
opinions on that,
extreme there at the time, but yeah.
I just think, I know we've kind of talked about this on the podcast, but that all or nothing mindset, and I feel like some people kind of can handle that, like calorie bank, like lower during the week, a little bit extra room on the weekends, but you have to have a really good relationship with food at that point. Like I have clients, I think I have two clients that I've ever done that with, and their relationship with food is solid.
It has to be also like kind of
like a good mindset about it.
Yeah, but also like it's not just like a free for all on the weekend. Like it's still controlled, but just at a larger scale than during the week.
No, for sure.
So
when did you like? How did you even start learning about like? Okay, I need to eat protein. I need to eat veggies. Like, did you always just
became obsessed in college.
Did you do your own research?
Yeah, bodybuilding.com, testosteronenation.com, YouTube videos like Steve Cook, Christian Guzman, Matt Ogus. Like, I just became obsessed. Like, I think what happened, like, in high school, played a ton of sports. I had a gym membership, I think, I got it for Christmas my junior year or something. I'd go sometimes, but I didn't really have a ton of time. And then got to college, and, you know, there were other time commitments and stuff, but like had that, you know, void from all the sports. And so that's when I really got into the gym, you know, into like the bodybuilding type working out, you know, wasn't doing like CrossFit or power cleans.
I was going to say.
And I just went down the rabbit hole. Like I would be like, oh, what's the best chest exercises? And then go read an article on bodybuilding.com. What do I eat to get shredded? What do I eat for mass? And like started like learning all this stuff. And at first it was really overwhelming, but I was so interested in it. And then, you know, just kept learning more and more and more. And had some like found some like different views, but then just like, you know, got a lot of information from a lot of different places and kind of started to see where like people would agree and like where the same patterns started coming up.
Wow.
And like just realized, okay, if 10 people who are highly respected kind of all agree on this, that kind of must be.
Yeah, nutrition's tricky.
True.
But I just think it's interesting that's the time period that you got into it, because I feel like I just recently talked to
I would read
yesterday.
an article on like, you know, what to eat to get shredded and then go drink a bottle of Smirnoff later that night. So.
I know, but still, I feel like when I got to college, you know, this was post sports, post dance. I danced a little bit in college, but I don't know if that counts. I didn't know how to work out. You know, I didn't know how to eat healthy, and I never really had to until I stopped all those sports. And I just think it's cool that you were able to like get interested and learn at that time period, because I feel like college, I had no space for that in my brain to like want to figure that out. You know, even I think deep down I did want to know about it because I was so unhappy with my body, but like it's almost like once the sports stop, whether that's high school or college, that's kind of when, you know, your body changes and you're like, oh my gosh, like what do I do now? I've never had to actually train by myself, or, you know.
Yeah.
So that's cool that you were able to do that in college.
Yeah, I was sick. I remember there were points where I would literally like ditch class to go to the gym. I was like, ugh, this class is going to be a bore, you know, but I've got a sweet shoulder workout scheduled for today. So
wow, that is not why I skipped class.
Yeah.
Anyways,
how to unfuck your diet.
Yeah.
So we kind of talked about, you know, what some people do, right? They're eating out too much high calorie, low nutrient stuff. And I think most people
Which junk food
just don't get enough of three things. One, that's water. Two, protein. Three, vitamins and minerals, aka your fruits and veggies.
Yeah. And I think people think it's so much more complicated than that, and it truly comes down to simple things that you have to do consistently.
And I think it might be because it's like it's too simple. It's like, oh, that can't work. And it's like
oh,
I could
boring.
do that, but I'm gonna go search for a secret pill instead of actually getting started and doing it.
Totally. And I again was talking to a client yesterday just about how like she's like, what else can I do? I'm like, you got to get good at the simple things before we can even consider anything else.
Yeah.
Like it truly is just consistency, and it's not cute
Sexy.
or sexy, but it's what gets the job done.
It's a perfect combination of sexy and cute.
Yeah.
So that's what people aren't doing enough of. They're not getting enough water, not enough protein, not enough vitamins and minerals. So what can you do? Incorporate more of that stuff. Wake up and delete some water.
Your favorite
That's my new favorite term.
20
to
water.
40 ounces.
Like have the water next to your bed. I thought somebody told me this tip and I'm like, doesn't everybody do that? But they actually don't. Like this water bottle is sitting next to me at all hours of the day, including when I go to sleep. So if I wake up, I can just chug it right then and there.
Yeah. Yeah. Something I've been doing lately, I don't do it every day, but I have a liquid IV first thing in the morning with my creatine, because I was getting really like, it was kind of like off and on taking my daily creatine, which if you're not taking creatine, you should. It's great for you. Check with your doctor first. But it was just a way to like habit stack, right? Get some water in, get some hydration, as well as get my creatine in, so I wouldn't forget it. And ideally too, you know, wake up, do this. It's gonna, you know, you just went ideally 8 to 9 hours without water because you slept through the night because you listened to our last podcast and your sleep is just
on point,
dialed. And so you need some water.
Do you need some water?
I might need some water.
Choking up a little over there.
So you just went this long without water. Your body, your organs, your mind, your digestive system, it's thirsty for water. So get up, have some, and ideally before caffeine.
Yeah, for sure.
Would be sweet. So that's the first issue, right? And the next, you're not getting enough protein. So how do you get more protein? You have it with every single meal. If you're not having protein, it's not a meal.
I love that you put the protein before the minerals, even though it's minerals and then protein. I know it's not like in an order, but I just think it's funny.
What? I said water, protein, vitamins, minerals, and we're going water, protein, vitamins, minerals.
I know, but on the... Oh my god.
I like to break the rules.
No, you just love protein, which I love protein too.
I thought you're the protein queen.
I am, but I just think it's funny. Yes, eat more protein, especially ladies. And I think something that's not talked about too is, especially I feel like women in general undereat protein. And this is what happened to me, and this is what happens with my clients a lot, where they're not eating a lot of protein. They start eating a lot of protein. Their stomach is messed up. It feels uncomfortable because there's like this transition phase of like not eating enough to eating enough protein. And so they think, oh, like this doesn't feel good on my body. Like it's the protein, when really, since you're under eating it, it just kind of takes your body a little bit to like readjust to processing more protein again. And
protein can be kind of hard to digest. So if you're eating like no protein and then you try to go to like the top end of like what you should be eating, you're gonna have a bad time.
Yeah.
So like work your way up. If you're getting 20 grams of protein a day, like a starving child, get it up to 60 grams before you go to like 120 or whatever the case may be. So definitely ease into it.
I just think that like, in my mind I was like, oh, this must not be what my body needs. My body would be loving this if like I was supposed to be. This is what
I needed.
Yeah, exactly.
Also, I feel like too, having it at every meal makes it so you have to have a smaller amount at each meal, instead of like if you just have a banana for breakfast and then a salad for lunch, and then if you're trying to get all your protein in at dinner, you're gonna have a bad time, But if you have a little bit throughout, every couple hours throughout the day, one, that's gonna be best for muscle protein synthesis, but two, it's just gonna, again, if you're not someone who like I feel so blessed and lucky. I love protein. I love chicken. I love the ground beef. I love steak. Like that's, when I'm looking at a meal, that's like what I'm most excited about. But if you're not, having it at every meal in smaller amounts is gonna make that easier.
And also, people I feel like don't know how to make it taste good.
Yeah, and I think they have like, I even wrote out some like meal ideas here, and like just looking at it, I'm like, yeah, that sounds so boring. But like, have you ever heard of a little salt, a little pepper, a little green goddess, too, is like, a little...
When you first started making chicken thighs, I was like, holy shit, that's so much salt and pepper. Like, I don't know, in my mind, I was like, that's too much salt. Like, that's not good for you. But the flavor, it's good. And it's so simple. Salt and pepper.
Salt, pepper, we use green goddess a lot.
But I feel like this is what people do. They do chicken breast, and they do like a teeny tiny sprinkle of salt and pepper, which has like no flavor. And it's like, no, chicken thighs all day, every day, and a shit ton of salt and pepper. Maybe green goddess up in there too, if you feel crazy. Garlic,
too,
yeah. It's like you need to season the shit out of it
too. Like we used to air fry it on the daily, and the only reason we don't now is because we have a Traeger. But like if you don't have a grill or something like that, find a way that you like it, whether that's baked, whether that's in the stove, maybe it's the air fryer, maybe it's in a slow cooker or something, but just find a way that you like it. And if you don't like it one way, try it another way.
And over season the shit out of it. Like I feel like people are afraid of seasoning, and it's like, no,
get on it,
get at it. Cool. The next one is just eating more vitamins and minerals, which is eating a shit ton of fruits and veggies, especially vegetables. Like
same thing, season those bitches
up. And you can season them however you want. Like we have the same vegetables, like even just this frozen veggie,
the same meal.
I know, but
17 times a week.
I know, but even the frozen veggies we use, the same ones. They're peppers and onions, but sometimes we'll have them for breakfast and we'll season them a little different. Then we'll have them for like Mexi vibes, is like our like kind of
Chipotle
burrito bowl type thing that we have, and we'll season them differently there. Like vegetables are just so malleable. what's the word I'm looking for? Just like diverse. Like you can make them.
Malleable. I like
It's not
that.
a good word.
Yeah. Whoa.
You can just make them taste however you want because they're kind of obviously they have some flavor, but like
it's a good canvas to start from, and you can
and it's a
spruce
good
it up
like
however you
filler
want.
food, and it's
Yeah.
also really good for you. So
And
like
if you don't love vegetables, double down on fruits. You know, some of the lower calorie, more fibrous stuff. Like think berries, right? Blackberries, blueberries, raspberries, strawberries.
also I think you should just suck it up and start to eat vegetables,
Yeah.
and you'll learn to love them because
Yeah.
people are like I don't like vegetables. I'm like okay, they're the least flavorful thing that we eat, but suck it up and learn to love them.
Be an adult.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you just got to do it.
And when in doubt, taking a multivitamin as a insurance policy is never a bad idea. If you want to get a discount on Thorne supplements, hit the link in the description. It'll be there. Just create an account at checkout. The discount will be linked
very
to your
high quality
profile. Yeah.
stuff.
Best stuff in the game. I take it. My clients take it. And now you're going to take it.
I take it too.
She takes it too.
But yeah, I think also too, I feel like when you eat a shit ton of junk food, your like palate is kind of off. So once you
Yeah.
stop that and you actually start eating fruits and vegetables,
Eating like an adult, which you are.
You'll learn that they're actually very flavorful. But like when you're used
And
to
you're
eating
gonna
junk
feel
food,
better.
Oh
Like,
my God, yeah.
Maybe you have the mindset right now that like, oh, this is depriving. Oh, this sucks. Oh, this isn't the fucking Panda Express that
Mm-hmm.
my palate is used to. But you're gonna have better digestion. Your skin's gonna start to look better. You're gonna feel better. You're gonna have more energy. You're gonna take a solid shit for the first time in a fucking year and feel amazing.
That's why I'm so like I feel like people.
But be careful. Once you do this, once you start to feel better,
Yeah,
you're kind of
you're not
fucked because
going
it's going to be
back.
hard to go back. And then when you do have that stuff and you're going to feel like shit, you're like, oh.
But that's why I feel like sometimes my friends have been like, wow, you eat so healthy, like live a little. And I'm like, I'm doing this because it makes me
Yeah.
feel so good when I eat food, like even In-N-Out. I have to be in the mood for In-N-Out, but when I eat it, I
AKA
feel
drunk.
like I have to eat, or I feel like shit for like 2-3 days. Like my stomach is messed up. Like
Even
it's
Chipotle
just-
has been messing you up.
yeah,
lately.
it's just not worth it to me. Like
Yeah.
I'm gonna be a psycho with the foods I put in my body because
Yeah.
it makes me feel good. It makes me happier, more energized, like a nicer human, to be honest. So it's okay to be picky and be that person. Like
But look, we're not here to tell you to be,
100% perfect.
yeah, 100% perfect granola eater, grow your own
Yeah.
spinach thing. Eat mostly like this. And then have the other stuff.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, because if you just try to go all in 100%, you're just going to burn
Yeah.
out so quickly.
Well, and it's not like we're 100%. Like we literally, I had a burger last night and we split an ice cream.
Yeah.
Do we do that every night? No. But we did last night.
Yeah, and we've been on a I mean, not that Chipotle is that bad, but it's still fast food. Don't necessarily know everything that's going in it, even though Eric might because he used
I
to work
do.
there.
You want to know?
But they probably use seed oils and shit, so yeah.
I think it was actually sunflower oil.
Isn't that a seed? Sunflower seed.
Sounds like a flower to me.
But yeah, just be balanced, but like try to eat whole foods. It really is not as complicated as you might think. I think we just wanted to lastly kind of wrap it up with a few of our staple meals that we kind of
Sure.
do. Some easy, simple meals.
Yeah.
Wanna-
Lately, breakfast has been those peppers and onions that we've been talking about.
Frozen peppers and
Frozen
onions.
peppers and onions.
Literally
can't be easier.
heat it up in a pan.
They're cut, they're washed, they're frozen so they don't go bad. So you got zero excuses. We do that in a pan, some chicken sausage.
Which is all, those are both from Costco. So it's
Yeah.
not even like literally just chop it up, throw it in. If you like eggs, you could throw that in there too.
Yeah, eggs and or egg whites. Boom. Just having some energy
Mark
drink
is-
burps over here.
Yeah.
Yeah, or before that, our go-to is smoothies. Great way to get a ton of vitamins and minerals in.
perfect
Throw
meal.
some protein powder and or Greek yogurt and or egg whites too.
Ugh.
I know it
That
sounds gross, but you don't
gross.
taste it.
I've never done
There's zero
that.
taste. I haven't either.
But
I've
almond
heard.
butter, also careful. It's very high calorie, but like adding some of that in is so good.
We make our own air quotes Chipotle
I thought you were
a couple times a week.
I thought you were gonna say almond butter. I'm like, no, we don't.
Not yet.
I know.
You know, we have a rice cooker, so it makes it super easy. We do rice, black beans, either chicken thighs or ground beef.
Frozen
Those
veggies.
same frozen peppers and onions. Are you seeing a theme here?
Yeah. Our little Asian dish that we always make is salmon.
Different type of frozen vegetables. It's like,
yeah, and the salmon is so easy too. It literally takes 8 minutes to cook. We put salt, pepper, paprika, and a tiny bit of coconut sugar on there, and it is like, it is so
it takes
good.
7 minutes in the oven.
Yeah, we just do that, veggies, and some gluten-free
brown rice noodles.
Yeah, brown rice noodles from Costco. Like, it's so simple. We literally put it all in a pan.
Done in like you're
15
eating
minutes.
You're eating within 30 minutes. I was gonna say.
Not. I feel like the rice.
I was gonna
sometimes
under promise over deliver.
Yeah. Yeah, but we honestly have those like at least once a week. The burrito bowl we have multiple times a week.
Yeah, I've had it twice already.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Those are some
I think
good
that's the big
staples.
thing is just, you know, figure out the stuff that you like, kind of following some of the guidelines that we talked about here today. Come up with those staple meals, eat them regularly, most of the time, and then have that other stuff.
Yeah.
When and if you
one
want it.
last tip is like clearing out your pantry. Like, did we already say this?
No, we're saying that in the next one.
Oh, well, I'm saying it in this one. Because if you have junk food just like right there, it's like you're for sure going to know it's there and just go for it. But if you just try to avoid buying that stuff, it's so much easier to avoid.
If you have it, you're going to eat it.
Yeah. But I think that kind of wraps everything
Yeah.
up. The first step is awareness,
Yeah.
making sure you are aware of what's actually going in your mouth. And yeah, follow the little tips that we've mentioned, just eating whole foods. And oh no, I don't want Luna to bark.
She's gonna. Anyways,
Anyways,
unfuck your diet.
Unfuck your diet.
Follow, like, subscribe.
Yeah.
See ya.
Bye.